You talk about his friend, Mohammed Hassan Chandu,
Yes.
His roommate from Pakistan, his roommate at Occidental. I'll tell you about that in a second, but you say they drove up, they drove around in a BMW?
Oh, yeah, it was, I remember that was one of the funny points of that visit is Chandu was very proud of that car. I mean, it was very materialistic, and he was very proud of it. And he was kind of a quiet guy. He was more of an observer than a heavy participant in our debates. But you could see he took great pride in that car. And he and Barack Obama, they looked like a wealthy gay couple. That's how I thought of them when I first saw them. And the girlfriend had to tell me kind of secretly on the side that they weren't gay, but they were very well dressed, just impeccable manners, great gentlemen, and I thought they were both multimillionaires.
Well, where do you think, or where did was it discussed at the time between you and your girlfriend? Like, where did they get that kind of money? I just assumed he was born with it. I didn't really investigate it at the time. Yeah, no, okay. So that's interesting. Now,
but it is my explanation, Steve, for why Obama was a charismatic big man on campus when he was at Occidental, and why he was kind of a zero at Columbia University. And I think the money from Hassan dried up, and so he couldn't project that sort of charismatic image that he had at Oxy anymore.
So yeah, and it's well, it'd be interesting if we had any financial records from his college days, we would get a better picture of his financial situations at the time. Now, one other thing, this guy Chandu, the rich Pakistani, says first he told Newsmax that he doesn't remember any such thing, but the problem with that is he didn't even remember. And he raised a lot of money for Obama's president, over $100,000. But he didn't even remember until he was confronted with the proof that he not only saw Obama at the White House at a Ramadan dinner last fall. He didn't remember. He said, "Yeah, I went, but I never saw the president." Well, he didn't even remember that he shook hands with the president in the receiving line until that was presented to him. So I don't put much faith in his memory.
Well, one of the things I told Ron Kessler is I'm just here to tell the truth. And I'd like to see Obama not talk about how his Marxism, that people accuse him of being a Marxist because he shared his toys in kindergarten. The reason I think he's a Marxist is because I saw it with my own eyes. And I think he needs to explain to the American people what were the logical steps he took to get out of that Marxist Socialist perspective. And I don't think it's fair for him to run from that, especially when so much else in his life is consistent, all the way from Frank Marshall Davis to Alice Palmer to Bill Ayers. I mean, there's a very consistent story.
I'm with you on that, but what makes you think he ran for? What makes you think he graduated from that thought process or that philosophy?
I don't think he has, personally. I think he's still a socialist. I think that was his objective in pursuing the public option. I think that's what he was going for in the Sotomayor appointment. So I don't see him tacking to the center the way some people are suggesting. I see him as the kind of guy whose conscience will be bothered if he moves to the center.
I am with you. Listen, Doc, it has been an eye-opening pleasure. You have a website or anything you want to direct the people to?
Yeah, probably the best thing to do is I've got a website called anonymouspoliticalscientist.blogspot.com.
Anonymouspoliticalscientist.blogspot.com. We'll post that on my website. We'll make it easy for folks. You got that? Well, you got it? Okay, anonymouspoliticalscientist.blogspot.com. Doctor, I got to go. I'm up against the clock. Thank you so much, Dr. John C. Drew. He's a grant-writing consultant these days in California, but he knew Barack Obama, for a short time anyway, enough to know or to believe that Obama was a pure Marxist